In my youth, my dad flew the Connies at Eastern and Pan American. And to give you an idea how iconic and how beautiful the airplane is, people, my neighbors, would have the airline schedules, and we would get the car and drive out to Philadelphia. They had an observation deck there in the terminal. We would go there specifically to see a Constellation take off or land. I'm the flight engineer on the C-121A Constellation, also known as Baton. We departed the Portland area a couple of days ago and came all the way to Madison in 5 hours and 30 minutes, which was pretty impressive. The average ground speed was 308 miles an hour, proving that the Constellation is a speed queen. The airplane started its life as a cargo airplane. You'll notice the big cargo door, and it served in the Berlin airlift. Not long after that, it became General MacArthur's personal transport, and they put an executive interior in it. He used it all over the Pacific, and of course, some of the theaters he was more famous, the Baton campaign, that's how the airplane got its name. After General MacArthur, it went into service with NASA and carried some real complicated electronics and was used in the space program for communications and testing, and then it was parked. It went to Fort Rucker in Alabama, where it became a museum piece. And then Ed Maloney, who's the founder of Planes Fame Museum in Chino, California, learned that they were wanting to dispose of the airplane. And Ed and Steve Hinton in particular are very, very keen on history and preserving of it, and it was their vision that initially saved the airplane. They went to Fort Rucker and got it ready to fly, flew it out of there. Brought it to Chino, tried to fly it for a while, but they realized it's an enormous task to keep this airplane flyable. So the decision was made to park it in our storage facility in Valley, Arizona. Mr. Rod Lewis of the Air Legends Foundation was looking for a large airplane to put sort of a signature capstone on his collection of beautiful airplanes. And then when Mr. Lewis learned of the history, the particular unique history of this airplane, his vision carried the day for us, and we started what was a 10-year restoration. And I'm reporting off-key here because I joined the program as they were finishing that. I don't get any credit for the restoration. Those guys worked really hard, and you see the results. It's stunning. To a certain extent, they mimicked the interior that MacArthur had, but it's been upgraded with modern convenience and everything. The really wonderful thing about what they did is they kept it period. Everything in there is beautifully crafted. I think I showed you the logos that are even in the air vents. And my hat's off to Aero Metals. I'll put a plug in for them. Nobody does it better. The leather seats in there are works of art. And because they're down low, you don't really look at the side panels. Custom stitched in the side of each of the leather seats is a beautiful logo. It's sort of a combination of the Lockheed logo and this airplane with the three tails. In similar fashion, the forward cabin, the first class cabin, the sides of those seats are metal, and they cut that image into the metal. It's just beautiful. Everybody walks up to me and says, I went to war on the Connie, I came back from war on the Connie, I got married, we went on our honeymoon on the Connie. Everybody's got a Connie story. For me, the really great thing is when the little kids come up. I mean, it looks like something out of a cartoon compared to the other airplanes because it's so sculpted, so beautiful. And if I walk away from Oshkosh this year and we've inspired some young people, to turn away from drugs, turn away from crime, and perhaps pursue an aviation career, then that's the mission.